Che Guevara is a name that instantly sparks debate, admiration, and even controversy. To some, he is the ultimate symbol of rebellion and justice. To others, he is a divisive figure whose methods raise difficult questions. Regardless of perspective, Ernesto Che Guevara's story is one of relentless determination, global ambition, and a commitment to fighting oppression. Who was Che Guevara? Born in 1928 in Rosario, Argentina, Che grew up in a middle-class family. Despite suffering from severe asthma, he excelled academically and developed a deep love for literature. His early life was shaped by ideas of justice and equality, but it wasn't until his motorcycle journey across South America that his revolutionary path began. Witnessing the extreme poverty and exploitation of indigenous communities, Che realized that these issues weren't isolated, they were systemic. He concluded that only revolutionary change could bring true justice. How did Che become a revolutionary? Che's turning point came in 1954 in Guatemala. There, he saw a U.S.-backed coup overthrow a democratically elected government, cementing his belief that imperialism was the root cause of inequality in Latin America. This experience pushed him towards Marxism. Soon after, he met Fidel and Raul Castro in Mexico City. The brothers were planning to overthrow the Cuban dictator Fulgencio Batista, and Che quickly joined their cause, convinced that Cuba could be the starting point for a larger revolution. What role did Che play in the Cuban Revolution? In 1956, Che, the Castros, and a small group of revolutionaries landed in Cuba. Their initial efforts were disastrous, with most of the group killed or captured. But the survivors retreated to the Sierra Maestra Mountains, where they built a guerrilla army. Che, known for his discipline and intelligence, became one of Fidel's closest advisors. Che was not just a fighter, but also a strategist and leader. He inspired loyalty among his troops and earned respect for his willingness to endure the same hardships as his men. However, his methods were controversial. To maintain discipline and eliminate threats, he ordered executions of informants and deserters, actions that have drawn criticism and sparked debate about his legacy. By 1959, Batista's regime collapsed, and Che was a hero of the Cuban Revolution. In the new government, he took on key roles, including overseeing land reforms and literacy programs. But Che's revolutionary spirit wasn't satisfied with one victory. He believed that the fight against imperialism and inequality had to be waged on a global scale. Why did Che leave Cuba? Che could have remained a central figure in Cuba's government, but he chose to continue his fight elsewhere. He traveled to Africa to support anti-colonial movements, particularly in Congo, but this mission ended in failure. The rebels lacked coordination, and Che struggled to adapt to the local political landscape. Undeterred, he turned his attention to Bolivia, hoping to ignite a continent-wide revolution. What happened in Bolivia? Che's campaign in Bolivia was fraught with challenges. His small guerrilla force, isolated from local support and relentlessly pursued by the Bolivian military, faced constant shortages of food and supplies. In October 1967, Che was captured in a remote village. The following day, he was executed by Bolivian soldiers, reportedly under CIA orders. His final words were defiant: "Shoot, coward. You are only going to kill a man." What is Che's legacy? Che's death immortalized him as a global icon. His image, bearded, wearing a beret with a single star, became a symbol of rebellion and resistance. For many, he represents the fight against imperialism and oppression. For others, his use of violence and his rigid ideology make his legacy more complicated. His writings, including the Motorcycle Diaries and Guerrilla Warfare, continue to inspire activists and revolutionaries. His story raises important questions. Can meaningful change be achieved without violence? How much sacrifice is too much in the pursuit of justice? Why does Che matter today? Che's story resonates because it is about more than politics. It is about the power of conviction. Whether seen as a hero or a flawed idealist, Che challenges us to consider what we are willing to fight for. He once said, "The true revolutionary is guided by great feelings of love." Che's life is a reminder that the pursuit of justice is never simple, but it is always worth striving for. His legacy invites us to reflect on the balance between ideals and reality, and the cost of trying to change the world.